graduated school, I knew I was creative. What I was good at was my brain. I could think about something and do it.
Growing up in Ibadan, Anita Ashiru always had an audience for her creativity. From running a blog she quickly monetized to selling Ankara as a university student, she was constantly finding new ways to express herself and make money.
In my last year in uni, I wanted to be Africa's Mark Zuckerberg.
After earning a degree in journalism, she shifted into marketing, honing her skills at two of Nigeria's leading agencies, X3M and Anakle.
Any stupid idea I had was encouraging Anakle.
Then, a chance encounter on set with acclaimed video director Dammy Twitch sparked a new passion: creative direction and set design.
Dammy graduated high honors in economics, and Dammy decided to carry camera.
Since then, Anita's touch has shown up in some of Afrobeats' biggest moments, building the worlds of Burna Boy's Bundle by Bundle and Updates, Wizkid's Kese, and Davido's Fonts and With You. This is the story of how Anita Ashiru became an overnight success. Hi, welcome to another episode of Overnight Success. My name is Oluwamaiwa Idowu, and today I am joined by creative director and production designer Anita Ashiru.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So when I speak to people on here, first question I ask them is kind of like a personality question.
Okay.
So you have to pick one. Lose complete access to like social media, or lose complete access to like search engines. So you can't use Google, you can't use ChatGPT, you can't use any of them things.
Social media, lose complete access to social media.
Why?
I'm barely on there these days.
Booked and busy?
Not booked and busy. I just think that it was something that I actually had to train myself to not rely on and care too much about, because it started to affect my creativity. So I started finding myself, checking other people's work before I'm able to finalize on my own creative direction, and it started just affecting my flow. So I decided to start timing myself with how much I use social media, give myself social media breaks, and it's really helped me. So I don't really rely on it. Now it's more like a portfolio where I just go once in a while, drop my work, see what's happening, run away, come back again. So it's not really something I really rely on anymore.
Okay. So you grew up in Ibadan?
Yes.
What was that like?
Amazing. Anytime I tell people about my childhood experience in Ibadan, they're always telling me they don't believe it. Ibadan is really small but big. Everybody's like family. It's just so different. The life there is slower, it's everybody kind of encourages each other. Everybody's one big family. Growing up, I was very creative as a child. I used to do small events here and there, come up with weird ideas, and you just see everybody supporting that and making me feel like I'm the biggest person in the entire city. So I think just having that backbone and having that kind of encouragement from childhood gave me the confidence that I have today to do what I do. So now I just feel like I can do anything. And again, it's all thanks to my upbringing and being surrounded by people that genuinely just cared about me for no reason, just because I was from where they are from.
So I'm curious, like, growing up, like, how did your parents' backgrounds, how did that shape you?
My mom was also a creative. She actually studied fashion design in university. So growing up, I used to grow up around her sketchbooks, where I used to see her sketches. Now she's a teacher, far from what she studied and her passion, and is obviously due to, life. But anyway, it's due to life.
Survival instinct.
Yeah, exactly. My mom is Tanzanian. Imagine she moved to Nigeria to start a family and to raise a family, had to give up her dreams to come raise a family in Ibadan, but then she still kept the creativity in the home. My mom, over the weekends, would use paper mache to make things, or Play-Doh to craft things, or sometimes she'd just get like cardboard boxes for us to like make our bags, make slippers. So very early on, my mom integrated the art of crafts into my life. Like, I knew how to make almost everything. Our jeans that were getting small for us, we knew how to quickly make that into a tote bag that we would use in the summertime. At my birthday parties, my mom would give us the assignment to start cutting out shapes for things that we're going to give out as souvenirs, making our own rag dolls. So this is something that I did growing up, and my dad was always happy. Like, he encouraged that creativity because something that just brought life into the home. Summertime, our entire neighborhood would come over to our house for summer camp, which my mom would start teaching all the kids how to use like Play-Doh to make things or stuff like that. So I grew up around creativity, and I think, yeah, it definitely encouraged, like, I guess, my passion.
So one of the things I found interesting when I was, looking you up was apparently you started a blog when you were 15.
Yes.
Tell me about that blog.
Oh my God.
And what inspired it?
I don't think I've spoken about that in a while. So my best friend at the time, she's Lebanese, and I was just looking for things to do together. And at the time, I was a fan of Linda Ikeji. I used to read Linda Ikeji every day. So I'm like, you know what? And this is like final year of secondary school. Everybody kind of knows what they want to do.
Yeah.
Some people know, I want to be a doctor. I had no clue what I wanted to do. I just knew that I just didn't like school. I didn't like reading. I didn't like biology. I didn't like math. So in my head, I'm like, I need time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And as I said, I was very social. I was a social bee. I was organizing events, parties, and everything. I had a lot of friends. So one day, I just discovered like WordPress.com. And I'm like, this thing seems pretty simple. And I did like one blog post, and I just shared the link. And I shared the link, and I think that day I had like 50 views. I was like, this thing, 50 views? It was big for me. I was like, oh my God, this is something. So my best friend and I just started like doing random things on the blog. Like would say, who has the nicest smile, for instance, not kidding. So what we did is that we just fetch people from different social group circles, get people's pictures, put it on the blog, and ask them to come and ask their friends to vote. So people will start resharing the link so that their friends will come and vote. So it's a popularity contest. People wanted to be the winner.
Listen, you don't know how much this is killing me. Like,
that's literally what it was. So we started getting a lot of views, and I'm like, I need to start making money from this thing. And I think that I was able to really identify like monetizing numbers from a very early age, because at the time I was just 15. I just turned 15. I was like, at this numbers, I can't, because I was getting like 1,000 views at this point, 1,005, which was a lot. And people would comment, they're from Lagos, they're from this. And at least I'm getting a bit of audience in. So took my mom advised me to print my stats. So I printed my stats, and she now framed it for me. And I'll walk into boutiques in the mall. Like I'll go to the mall, walk into boutiques, show them my stats. I'll show them my stats and say, I can advertise your clothes for you, and this is the numbers you're going to get. And they will ask me how much. I'll say something like 40K. At the time, I didn't understand really money. I said 40K. So them, they're like, for all of that, yes, let's do it. So I'll call my friends who I thought were pretty. Call my friends who are pretty. My mom is a teacher, so she had a school. I'll go get her photographer in school. There's a teacher that was a makeup artist. Get her, use the school for the background, and get my friends to come and model. I'll pay my friends like 1K. I would even bring them meat pie. I will have a blast. I would have a blast. Take pictures. I'll not blog about like the brand. Put pictures of like people that they can recognize, and people were like loving it, right? People were like, oh my God, and people were going to these stores because we made it look very cool, very youthful. And I was like, wait, this is actually a thing. People started reaching out that, hey, can you come and advertise? Oh, we're doing December calendar. Can you help us with our calendar design and print it for us and everything? So.
You know what's crazy to me about this?
What?
The fact that you were a 15-year-old doing this. Like, and the thing is, every answer you have given, it makes sense why you are doing what you are doing today.
Yeah.
Because every single thing connects.
Yeah, exactly.
And even just like the idea like of making money, because that's something I wanted to learn more about. Like, so I've seen that like you sold clothes, you mixed cocktails, you did a bunch of things. And so I guess I'm just curious, it's like this ability to essentially find opportunities and find ways to make money out of it. Like, what was pushing you? Like, where did it come from?
I hated school. And I just knew that I didn't want to work for anybody. I knew I was creative. I knew I was very enterprising. Like, I knew how to start up businesses and sell it. Like, it was something that just came naturally to me. Like, I'll think of an idea and I'll do it. So I felt like that was my strength, and I needed to train myself to be good at it. You know, people are good at math. They know they're good at math. People are good at this. I wasn't good at anything. What I was good at was my brain. Like, I could think about something and do it. So even like selling clothes, a friend of mine, it was in university, and because I had that background of like blogging and everything, and I was already like advertising people's clothes and everything, my friends just said, oh, we need to make money. And again, I'm a student, I'm a broke student. I was in Kenya. Our currency was at that point was when Buhari was really showing us, and we're trying to find other ways to make money. Oops.
R.I.P.
He was really showing us shege at the time. So thinking about how to make extra money.
Shout out for the public holiday though. But yeah.
I was looking for other ways to make money, and my friend just said, oh, like you're really creative. And in church, a lot of women will come and ask, oh, why can I, do you have Ankara? I want to buy Ankara from you. I wasn't even thinking about it. So I'm like, a lot of women was asking me to buy Ankara in church. So I decided bringing an Ankara from Nigeria. Just like 6 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, and was selling. One man asked me one day that, oh, I want blouse and skirt. I was like, oh, no, I don't sew. I went back and I told my friend about this, and she's like, what do you mean you don't sew? We'll go to town and find a tailor to sew. That can be another way of making money. So I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. So, and I started going into town and just making like ready to wear Ankara outfits, like just simple dresses, t-shirts, shorts in Ankara, like different Ankara prints. I'll not like fold it, put inside like all this white nylon, take it to church. After service, I'll now start showing them different medium, large, XL, small. And we're buying it. Like they'll buy for them, for their kids. Even in class, I'll go to my class as well, tell my classmates that I have this for sale, and they were eating it up. In fact, I started saying, oh no, you can customize, like these are the prints that we have, so I started now selling clothes. And at the time I was studying journalism, and we had one course in advertising, and that course was the only practical advertising course we had, where we had to now shoot a commercial. And I forced my group, I said we have to shoot for my brand. So that was a free ad for me. Yeah. That was a free ad for me. So I'm like, no, we have to take, like, I know it's a brand. And I was able to convince them to shoot an ad for me. And that's how I was able to have an actual video content. Then I started sharing on social media, sharing to my friends. The business was doing really well. Then Daviva at the time now moved to Kenya. So when they were trying to set up shop in Kenya. And at the time I was really getting bored, because again, that wasn't really my passion. It was just something I did to make money. Like, let me just, and yes, I'm good at it, but it wasn't something I really would want. Like, I wasn't excited to wake up in the morning to work on it. And I feel like that's important for me. So my friend's mom was going to be in charge of like Daviva's, the whole shindig. So we had a meeting, and she was talking about selling designs. So I was like, hey, that's the first time I thought about, oh, you can actually sell your business. You can sell. I had never thought, I didn't know that was possible until that meeting. And I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm actually tired of this, and I want to move on to something else. At the time, I was even getting busy in school, doing like other things in school, was doing events in school. So I was like, okay, yes, at least I'm not losing out completely. And the money that I'm going to make from this, I can use to set up another business that I was already thinking about, which was a cocktail business.
So you sold the business?
Yes, I
did. In uni?
Yes.
How much?
At the time, it wasn't plenty money. It was like, I think like $1,500. At the time, to me, it was a lot of money. How old were you when you did this? This was in my second year in uni, so I was like 18, 19.
Imagine someone exiting at 18, 19. No, you're busting my head today. like all the things I'm hearing, for me, it's just making me feel like I'm not driven enough.
Oh no, please.
Because this is amazing. Okay. One thing I wanted to focus on, you kind of touched on it, was moving to Nairobi to study journalism at uni. You've kind of said that, like, you weren't really good at school.
Yeah.
You were really just trying to find your purpose. So I'm curious as to how you decided that was something you wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, that's a lovely question, because again, it was out of randomness. So my brother at the time was in Nairobi. He was in that university. And I told my mom that I didn't want to go to do A-levels, because that was usually like, the year gap that we kind of figure out what we wanted to do. I didn't like school. I wasn't that much of I wasn't in front of school, but I liked fashion. I was doing that with my blog. So I was like, you know what? I don't mind learning how to sew. Like, I want to go to a fashion school. So there was a fashion college in Nairobi at the time that I convinced my mom that, hey, let's go check out the fashion college. Let's just see what they're about. We're on our way to Tanzania. My mom's Tanzanian. At the time, we used to go there every summer to spend 3 months with my family. So on our way to Tanzania, we just stopped in Kenya for a few days, went to the evening, like the College of Design, checked everything. I was in love. I was ready to actually like sign up and start school. So my mom was like, oh, let's go and check out your brother on campus. So we went on campus, And lovely campus, by the way. Soft plug, USIU Africa, beautiful. We get into the campus and I'm like, oh my God, this is so nice. And I started seeing some university students with like green hair. They were looking really cool, shorts, and like carrying cameras around. I was like, I want to do that. I literally told my mom like, that looks fun. I want to do that. She's like, are you sure? Let's just like keep going around to see. Because my brother was taking us on a tour to different departments and everything. So we walked into the journalism department building and there's like a radio station. Kids were just there gathered around the table. It wasn't like the traditional school setup that I was like had conditioned my mind to believe university was like. So as I was fascinated, the dean kind of walks down and just like asked me like, hey, like, are you here looking around? I was like, yes. So he starts taking me around and then he takes my mom and I to his office and we have a conversation. He asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. She said, what are your interests? I told him about my blog. And I was like, have you thought about journalism? I was like, not really, but he started telling me the modules in journalism, telling me I'll learn print media, learn PR, learn broadcast, and I can find myself. So in the first 2 years, I'll do like GE courses. Then in the last 2 years, I'll be able to really know where I want to specialize in. And it sounded really good to me, flexible, and I could still do the fashion design thing over the weekends because we don't have weekend classes for the first 2 years. So to me, I'm like, oh, it's a win-win. And I also didn't want to really sit at home for too long. And I was like, you know what? Yes. So that's how I ended up doing journalism, to be honest. It wasn't like I knew I wanted to be a journalist. I just knew that I liked the media. I liked entertainment. I liked fashion. It was just bits and pieces of things I knew I liked. And it kind of made me feel like everything I liked in bits and pieces kind of fit under that umbrella. And I was like, you know what? Why not? I love the campus. I loved Kenya. I wanted to be closer to Tanzania to be able to see my grandma more often. That's why East Africa even came up in the first place. And I was like, yeah.
Okay. And then after graduation, you did a master's in marketing.
Yes.
Again, walk me through
that.
Like, so it's like, okay, I've done the journalism thing for what? How many years? 3-4 years?
Yes, 3-4 years.
Yeah, 3-4 years. Okay, cool. I've kind of sampled this. Now, next, I want to focus on the marketing.
So, again, back to when I was in uni, part of the courses we did was like in PR, advertising. So we touched on marketing a bit in uni, and I really enjoyed it. You know, being able to think of a brand, or you have like a brief and you're able to flesh it out and come up with an entire campaign. And my school was very hands-on and very practical. Like, it's not just about the theoretical part. So I really enjoyed that. And I was about to, this one when I didn't bust your head. In my last year in uni, I wanted to be Africa's Mark Zuckerberg. It sounds very...
But you know, the thing is, like, when you said the blog thing, that's how Facebook started.
That's exactly.
Because it's like, when you were saying, I was like, I that's part of why I found it funny. But it's like, you were 15.
Yeah.
Like, the idea, because, I mean, Facebook was like, they would, essentially, were asking the guys to rate which girls were hotter.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like yours is just like obviously a juvenile
version of it.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It's not busting my head.
No, this one is about to.
Okay.
So now I wanted to be Africa's Mark Zuckerberg, and that came up when I was just sitting down and reflecting. I was looking through pictures of freshman bash. Again, I wanted to blog about it, like just the journey, and I was seeing a lot of faces that I hadn't seen in a long time. I'm like, oh, what happened to this guy? This guy gave me so much energy. Somebody would say, oh, that guy dropped out. Oh no, he got addicted to drugs. Like, it was one thing or the other why somehow they weren't able to reach the finish line of, you know, graduation. And I was just thinking, again, conversation with my friend, and like, what might, like, so a lot of people, so we just concluded that a lot of people coming to university not really ready to, one, be very independent, two, a lot of people had like social anxiety because maybe growing up, their parents kept them shielded, and the first time ever that they're let out into the world is now in a Kenyan university. So we just said, like, you know, a lot of theories, people just discussing, and like, you know what, it's sad, let's move on. But it's kind of stuck with me. I'm like, how can we help people, the next generation of African students or African kids that are probably going to be shipped off abroad somewhere to start a new life afresh just after high school, which, I mean, high school is like, I don't think there's enough transition between that and the big bad world. And then I decided to start up a platform called Life of an African Student, where I'd get like students, bloggers. At the time, blogging was becoming a thing on YouTube. Everybody, join my YouTube channel. That time, YouTube channels became a thing. So I knew I had a lot of friends around the world, some Kenyans, South Africans, Nigerians that lived in India, South Africa, Kenya, London, America. And I'm like, how can I get all of these guys under one umbrella to share their stories? How they were able to transition into university, and how can I build this into a bigger platform where, let's say I get a scholarship to Russia. I need a place where I can go, maybe type up the university, see students, Nigerian students in that same university, and I'm able to contact them and ask them questions like, hey, what's the weather like? I feel like it can help ease homesickness a little bit. And if I'm able to find my tribe early on before getting there, it might help me transition easier. So that's what I was thinking. So I built that platform around that. So started getting ambassadors around. So I was thinking, and it was really growing really fast. And I remember I was tutoring. Imagine I became a tutor. I was tutoring one guy in maths, by the way. I was tutoring this guy in math, and he was like, oh, you need to meet my auntie. When I told him about what I was working on, and actually I had like a demo already. I'd already started doing it small. But it was really stressful because how it works is they'll send me their content, and everybody had like categories. And I start sorting it out and uploading it myself. It was a lot of work. So I was looking for support. So when he told me that, oh, my auntie would love to invest in this, something that she's into the media, she's in the media industry, talk to her. I didn't realize that she was a producer, like a TVC producer.
Okay.
So one day she sends a car to pick us up and we go on her set. She was shooting an ad for Safaricom. And that was actually my first time on set. So I'm seeing this set and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Because they had built like a whole village in the middle of nowhere. I was like, whoa. I think that's my first time ever even seeing production design. But it didn't occur to me because I was there for something else. So I sat with her and she was like, oh, she loves the idea. She wants to invest in it. So this amount, I was not talking about like, somebody was willing to invest in this small idea I had, have me set up shop in an office and give me an actual office, give me staff to actually develop this into an actual thing. I actually panicked. It was becoming real. Like that was just a fun meeting, right? Oh, come to my office on Monday. Now I'm in a boardroom and people that know business are sitting down, lawyers. I'm just like, I don't know anything. Like I've not worked officially a day in my life. I've not run a company ever before. So I panicked and actually chickened out on the entire thing. And I started convincing myself that maybe you need to get some work experience. I said that's like the voice in my head that was telling me that, oh, you're not good enough. You need to get more work experience. They'll give you this money now. What are you going to do with the money? You don't even know what you're going to do with money. So I ran back to Nigeria and I'm like, okay, the nearest thing I can do is understand this digital world, right? So the first thing I did was I went to intern in X3M Ideas in the digital department. But like when I went there, it wasn't really giving me what I thought I wanted to learn. So I did that for like, I think 2 to 3 months. And then now, at that time, I knew a bit of digital marketing, but that's not really what I wanted, right? And again, I didn't even know exactly what it was I needed to know. I just wanted to have experience working in an agency, working in a company, and I wanted to work for somebody for a while. Then I got a job in Anakle, and I was a strategist in Anakle. And I think over time, when you're now comfortable somewhere, over time, that other idea it keeps on moving back to the back of your head. And I think that's basically how I found myself in Anakle, doing strategy, digital strategy, from digital strategy to 360. And I liked it. I said I enjoyed it because, again, I was good at it. So I think I'm the kind of person that when I'm good at something, I enjoy it because I'm like, okay, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm waking up in the morning. I'm excited. And I was getting different briefs every day. I was like, you know what? This isn't so bad. So I did that for about 2 to 3 years before I'm like, okay, now people start contacting me to build their marketing strategy for them, brand strategy. And then I was now in a meeting one day with some big shots in Lagos, real estate, and I had done like a 100-page deck. I wore suits. I was giving them.
Do you still do decks?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'll hit you.
So, soft plug. Anyway, so I was presenting and everything, and they loved the idea. Then one old man on the table said, "What's your qualification?" And I was like, she's like, no. What's your qualification? Like, you were expecting us to give you hundreds of millions, but we don't know you.
Like, what's your
qualification? Like, your 2-3 years is not enough, because I'm pitching next to other people, proper agencies. Like, I was the only one that was a standalone human being that didn't have like a full agency backing me for this pitch. So
this was you doing your own PP?
Yeah, this is me doing my own.
Oh, okay.
Not my agency. No, this was me on my own and everything. But the CEO was the one that brought me because like somebody introduced me to it. It was one of those things where he really liked because I had pitched it to him privately. Then he was like, oh no, you need to meet my team, you need to meet the board and pitch it to them. So they loved the idea, but they were now scared of the execution. They're like, here's these amazing ideas. We don't even mind buying this from you, this strategy, but we need like a full package, and we're not so confident that you can do this. Not because you're not smart, but because you're not experienced enough and you don't have qualification. So when that happened, it kind of broke. I kind of broke down.
I can imagine.
I kind of broke down because in my head I'm like, this is my big break. Like this is it. Like
I started counting the money.
I started calculating. I started calculating one travel. I'm like, and I've been putting off for a while. Anyway, so went back, spoke to my mom, told her how I was feeling. She was still encouraging me, like, don't give up, don't worry. But I started feeling like, maybe I now need to kind of figure out exactly what it is I wanted to do. Because I've been all over the place. I've been doing so many things. I need some time to kind of figure out exactly what I want to do in life. I'm not getting any younger. At the time, I wanted to be driving a Lamborghini at 25. And I'm like, I'm not reaching that goal anytime soon if I continue on this path. That's when I decided to do my master's. I was like, it's going to also be like a gap to figure things out. And that's why I was like, you know what, I'm good at marketing. Let me just do. So that
when they ask you what your qualifications are,
exactly, you can say I have an MBA in marketing. Stop it. Like, that's exactly what I had in mind. And then, funny enough, the gap between when I quit my job to now like get myself ready for school was when I discovered production design properly.
I've got to come there, but I want a quick thing. So you mentioned interning at X3M and then working at Anakle. And for people who don't know, those are some of the biggest agencies in the country. Yeah. The guys who founded them, Steve Babaiko and Editi. And, everyone knows who those names are. What was it like working at those places? Like, how did that experience, how did it shape you?
So for X3M, as I said, I was there for a really, really short time. I didn't really get to work on anything exciting because I was still very fresh out of university. I hadn't even done my official graduation. This was like, I was waiting for graduation, I was working here. So, and then X3M is a much bigger company where you're literally like a tiny dot in the grand scheme of things. So what I learned there was more like just the discipline of work, like waking up, going to work, having tasks, finishing the task, going home, just that discipline. But in Anakle, I was thrown into the deep end from my first day because I was put into team strategy. There was only one other strategist on the team and there were a lot of briefs coming in. So very hands-on, like very hands-on again. Editi would always encourage me. Editi taught me how to create decks. Editi sat me down, would be like, okay, like it was very, Anakle's company culture again is very different. It's very much of like family, we're friends. I was never shy to say I didn't know something. Again, that doesn't mean that you not knowing it doesn't mean you're not going to do the work. You're going to do the work, but it was very, I learned a lot. I'd say I learned from the people, from Editi, from Muna. Like it was very, Anita, we want you to grow, and that's what you're going to do. I want you leaving Anakle feeling like you've learned something. And I really did. That confidence of I'm able to stand in front of a boardroom with older men. I learned that from Anakle because my first week in Anakle, they put me to pitch to Sterling Bank, was the Access Bank, and I was shitting my pants. I'm like, what, me? I bullshitted my interview, like me. So it's like I was able to learn really, really quickly, learn really fast, and learn how to do a lot of things. And any stupid idea I had was encouraging Anakle. Like I can wake up tomorrow and say, guys, there's a Marvel movie that's out. Let's go watch it today. Let's not work. And everybody's like, yes, let's do it. I would go. But everybody comes back the next day so refreshed, happy. Like everybody just loves each other. We became friends and family. So that, like imagine growing in that kind of environment for 2 to 3 years. I learned so much. I had an eye for details because of the kind of boss I had. If I give Editi a deck, Editi will correct my deck 50 times. That was my first year, going back. But then after a while, I became really, really good at it. And I now understood that, okay, so this is what he was training me to be able to do. So I'd say that my experiences there definitely has helped me even build the structure in my team and the company culture that I have building my own company. Because I definitely don't want a very rigid company, rigid environment for my team. I want everybody to be very free to come and meet me, to be like, hey, I'm struggling with this, or can you help me out here? And I'm able to also identify like my team's strengths and weaknesses and be like, hey, okay, these are your strengths and your weaknesses. Let's help you grow on your weaknesses, or let's help you build your weaknesses. And this is what I learned from how I was treated working in Anakle, because I was there for longer.
Okay. And now you're talking about the moment in 2019 that you realized, production design was something you were interested in.
Yeah.
So the lore of that moment is that it was on set with Dammy Twitch.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Okay. So Dammy Twitch and I are cousins. We'll say we're cousins, but we're childhood friends. We grew up together. I've known him since I was born. There's a time in his life that he decided going into photography. And Dammy would just pick up a camera, taking pictures of me, or walk around, take pictures of random things. So I was very early on involved in his creative growth or his creative journey, right? So sometimes randomly he would just reach out to me, hey, do you have an idea for this? I want to shoot this. And I just randomly sent him, because again, I was in the creative, in my own way, in the creative space, right? So I just used to again, it was like shared creativity where he will reach out to me, I'll reach out to him. The time he even came to Kenya to shoot some content for my website that I was trying to build, my platform I was trying to build. So when he now started doing more photography projects for artists and started shooting music videos, one day he reached out to me. I was like, hey, there's this thing I'm working on. Can you just come, can you help me with this idea or something like that? Help me with this treatment. I didn't know what the treatment was, but I knew what decks were, right? Strategy decks. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I just treated it like I was treating a marketing plan. And I just did a deck, which ended up being a treatment, right? So I just sent it to him. That was it. It wasn't anything deep. So one day I was jobless because I quit my job. I called him hey, when next are you shooting? And he told me, and I went on his set. And while I was there...
What song? What set was this? Do you remember?
I don't remember, honestly.
What artist? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It wasn't any big artist, an upcoming artist that never blew at the end of the day, but...
Shout out to that guy. Shout out to that
guy. Anyway, it was one of those things. So I went and I just started correcting things. I just started getting involved in now the set design, but I didn't know that it was set design. Yeah, so I just adjust something. I'm oh no, that doesn't look really right. Let's check. So I said put him out, that they not send me to put him out in. I just said put him out. And somebody now asked me, oh, are you the art director? I was like, I don't even know what that is. No, I'm not the director. That's the director. So that was it. And then one day he now texted me. He said, read about art direction. That was Dammy now texting me, read about art direction. But while he told me to read on that, we're now working on other projects where I'll do the treatment. And I remember this particular one was now the turning point for me. So he asked me to work on the treatment for this girl. Her name is Obani Jesu. And she had a song called Story of My Life. And she wanted the video to be very narrative and to show a lot of, almost like a story, almost like a short film. Mm-hmm. So that meant I sat down, worked on it, the treatment for weeks. We went to pitch it to her. She was an upcoming artist and everything. And that's the time when he now said, okay, he wants me to handle art direction, that I should go back again and read on this art direction thing. So I did. I read up on art direction. I'm okay, it's props, right? At the time, I didn't even know where to get props from and everything. But he said, okay, you know what, don't worry. We'll help you source all the props. Just give us a list. So I sent the producer the list of everything I wanted. She got me help, but I was the one putting everything together and everything. And I liked it. I'm oh, this is nice. Wow. And I'm able to see this video next week. Unlike marketing, where you do a strategy and maybe you're not even seeing the results until 2, 3, you're not seeing it until much later because it's slower. This one was faster. I'm able to see that, oh, this is my idea. This is it. I'm able to quickly see it. And I like that, being able to see a quick turnaround for your creative ideas and see how people are reacting to it. Do people like it? Do people not? What can I improve on? So that's when I really started. And I was yeah, I want to do this and everything. So slowly, I started reading up on art direction. Dammy at the time now started buying online courses. You just buy, because he was trying to grow in his own filmmaking as well. And something about Dammy is a nerd. You don't really see that, but he's a nerd. Dammy will buy books, he will download courses, he will study just so that he can be better. And that thing was something that he also because I hated studying, I hated reading. So he kind of forced me into that. Because he'd be oh, I have this course, this is my login. So he send me his login because I'm not going to use my money.
real.
I'm not gonna use my money.
Real.
I tell you how much was I didn't have, was broke. So he sent me his login, I'll log in. He told me you only have 2 hours though. So in the 2 hours I'll try to study, do as much as possible. Call him. He told me, don't worry, I'll teach you the remaining one so that he can log back in, finish it. It was that kind of thing where we're both studying together, kind of figuring it out. Then I had to leave for school because I went to school in Cyprus for my master's, and then the pandemic now happened. So I was oh my God, finally when I'm finding something that really makes me excited, I have to leave. But then I saw it as a blessing in disguise because now I was forced to study. I was forced to now obsess over this thing that I love doing, because I was in Cyprus. I couldn't really practice. I could just live through Dammy's work.
Yeah.
So I quickly started doing this remotely. Like, I would do design my production design mood board, because I was not obsessing over the details, because I had time in my hands.
Yeah.
And I started building a team remotely. People never knew that I was not in Nigeria. Like, clients would not know that I'm not on set, because my team, I was able to really like build a structure in my team that they worked very seamlessly without me being there to supervise. Obviously, like, I'm there on video call throughout the setup process, or sometimes they just mount me on Zoom in a corner of the set. I'm able to see everything. I'm able to tell them, oh, change this, change that. Dammy too would call me, hey, this thing is not looking right. I'm able to, it was very, very, I was very supported through that period. And then, yeah, that's pretty, I don't know, I think I've over answered your question.
Bro, you've gone like 4 questions ahead, but I love
sorry.
it. But I love it. But I think one thing, so I want to ask you, I mean, there are lots of things I want to unpack, but I think the first I want to look at is, I'm marveling at the story you're telling of Dammy being like a childhood friend to someone who essentially kind of laid the path for you. Because there was something you said when you were talking about like, oh, he would sell you, oh, I need this. And I was thinking to myself that it's so lovely that you trusted him, because like in creative industry, people exploit people.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was asking you for these things, and you were like, okay, bet, like, I got it. But I guess what I want to know, or what I want to understand, so like, how gratifying is it, the fact that both of you obviously came up together, you guys have leveled up together, and you guys are now like some of the best in class together? Like, how does that make you, like, yeah, how does that make you feel?
Like, everything was worth it. Like, everything just was worth it. I never for once felt that, oh, I don't know, maybe it's just the way I think. I wouldn't, even to the way I am today, I'm very helpful. Like, if somebody calls me now and asks me for an idea, I won't really think of how much what's the price tag there.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, you're asking me for something that comes naturally to me. I'm not going out of my way to do this for you. You're not asking me to enter a bus and go to Ajah. It's not a stressful thing for me. It's something that, I have so many ideas. I want to give it out. So come on, So for him, I definitely saw Dammy's potential from a very early stage. The way Dammy is very hardworking. Dammy graduated, again, it's not about Dammy, but again, just to give you some context, Dammy graduated like high honors in economics. And Dammy decided to carry camera. Like, you need to understand how confident he must have been in where he was going. So imagine that kind of person with that boldness. I'll definitely believe in him. I'm like, and that's, again, he's like my brother. I'm like, definitely, like, anything you need. And just seeing him, I kind of predicted all of this, because I remember one time, Taiwo Adeyemi, a friend of mine, had come. I told Taiwo, I told Taiwo, like, let's go see Dammy. I need you to meet Dammy. And one thing I do is, anytime I meet people that, like, they're very similar in like ambition, I try to connect them, even if they don't become close friends. Let's sit down and have one conversation, because that conversation can inspire so much. Yeah. And they sat down, and Taiwo literally told Dammy that, oh, in the next 2 years you're going to be on Forbes. It was a conversation that we had a year or two before that happened for Dammy. So very early on, I knew that he was destined for greatness, and he was going to achieve, because of the way he strives for greatness. He strives, he works hard. So seeing him like be great, I'm like, it's about time, please. Like, about time. Like, yeah, a bit too late, because and then he's really young, and Dammy is definitely still growing, and Dammy's somebody that Dammy's always learning. Even till now, Dammy still feels like, oh no, I have to, like, he's still like that kind of person. And I would still feel that he motivates me sometimes. Sometimes I can just be like lazy. Dammy would push me. Dammy would just send me one set like this that it's going to start scratching my head. It's like, yes, you're going to do it. And it's like, you're going to do it. You figure it out. Don't worry, you do it. And I'll help you if you need me to really help. Let's sit down and think through this thing, but you're going to do it. And that helps me as well, because I'm like, okay, I can't be lazy. I have to, like, okay, think ahead. That means thinking, oh no, I want to win an Oscar. You're thinking you want to win an AMVCA. Like, it's like a different level of ambition that I'm like around, and I'm like, okay, that is really helping me. So I'm definitely proud of us, proud of him, proud of myself, because to be honest, I never would have thought through my scattered life that I'm not even where I am. That I know it's very cliche to say I'm not where I want to be today, but Really, really, truly. I'm not at the level that I aspire to be, but I'm definitely proud of what I've been able to accomplish in the last 5 years. And it's all thanks to Dammy, because again, he's like a big support system for me.
The other thing I wanted to unpack is, so I want to understand your mindset more, in the sense that when you decided, now this is a direction thing I want to, I think that comes with a lot of bravery. And I mean, you might not see it like that because, like you said, you were unemployed. It's not like you were doing anything. But for me, for you to essentially have taken this path, this journey, where it was kind of leading in one direction, and then this one thing happens, and you're like, "Yo, this is what I want to do." What was like what was like your mental state like when you were deciding, okay, this is what I'm going to do? And I guess also I'm curious, it's like, because I think it's a form of bravery, like where that bravery came from.
Well, that's not the first time I'll do like have such a shift in like what I thought I wanted to do back to university. When I thought I wanted to do fashion, I ended up doing journalism. I think the bravery comes from my mom, because my mom is someone that wanted to be a fashion designer. She had already set up shop and everything. And my mom quit all of that to move to Nigeria, Ibadan, to start up a life afresh. I mean, I'm looking at a woman like that as my mother. And my mom is now great at what she does. She's a fantastic teacher. She runs a really good school with her friends, and like it's anyway. Yeah. And she's doing really well. And I'm like, for her to be able to do that, then why can't I? And again, I just think that knowing that I have that support for my parents, I know they are questioning me, like, hey, are you sure? When I was quitting my job, my father did ask me, are you sure? Because you don't have anything to back up right now. But I was like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I need this because I need to figure out what I want to do. And they really just trust me. And I think that just goes a long way. My parents just trusting me and my weird decisions and me just wanting to quit and start something new. And they know that I excel at anything I want to do. Like anything I say I'm doing, I excel at it. I went to university. I didn't really I enjoyed journalism, but it wasn't my passion. But I graduated with honors. Like I hated math, but I was in university and I was so good I was tutoring someone. So I'm generally someone that I'm a nerd as well. I obsess over being perfect at something. So I knew that, and I think they also kind of knew that even if she doesn't, like, she'll make sure she's good at it enough for her to make life around it. Yeah. But then the backup was still, I'm not quitting my master's. So I'm still going to get that as an insurance policy. I'm still going to finish my master's degree, have that paper. In case this doesn't work out, at least I have something else to fall back on. So I think also having that safety net made me feel a bit more confident. I'm like, no, what's the worst case? This doesn't work out. I go back to marketing. So
okay. Now, one thing I want to understand is, as you've kind of done this, and what's your process? So like, what's your process? Where someone comes, says, there's this video we want to do. They give you a brief. What's the process from you having that conversation to the music video that we see? Okay,
so it's in two different capacities. So as a creative consultant / production designer, you can come to me that there's this song that I got, maybe a director reaches out to me, or there's this song that this artist wants to shoot. They have a really rough idea, not really solid. Maybe just give like bits and pieces of, or they want it to be in a studio, or they want it to be this. They don't make a very rough idea. So we sit down, I listen to the song, and I'm able to send some ideas. Like, hey, I'm thinking that the video can start out like this. If it's an upcoming artist, we need to show more of his face, kind of lighting we should use to light his face so that we can actually see more of him. And people should be able to recognize him after the video. Not like videos where everything is hidden in shadow. So we start thinking through those kind of concept, and I help develop the actual concept first for the music video. So when that now happens, and I'll take on and I'll remove that hat and wear the other hat, production designer. So take up the hat, and I'm reading this treatment now as if I've never seen it before. I'm like, okay, what does it look like? You know, when you're reading a book and you're able to picture like the scenes, you're reading a book, they're describing a lot of things, and you're able to picture it in your mind. That's basically how I have to read a treatment, picture it, and write out what I'm seeing in my head. So I start writing it out. Okay, where do I envision this thing happening? What does this room look like? Start thinking through those things, start asking questions. Like maybe some things are not detailed in the treatment. And I start asking the director, hey, so now you're wearing your director's hat. How do you want to shoot this scene? How many people do you feel that would you want in this space? So we start figuring, and I start sketching out like the space and what it should look like and feel like. We now start looking at color palettes, color theory. Like, what do you want all these videos to feel like? If I want it to feel very sexy, I start thinking through like the feeling of what I want the characters to feel in the space. Then I start going through like my resources like Pinterest, Cosmos, Cover Junkie, Instagram, some saved things that I've saved before. I have like libraries on my laptop with like screenshots of movies or commercials or other music videos that I've seen over time, and I start putting together my own like mood board of what I feel each space should look like. Speak to the director. If he's happy with it, I now break that down to my team. So it's almost like I'm facing two different teams.
Yeah. The
production team, which consists of the producer, the director, and my own team. Sometimes I would like send the producer some location ideas, like, hey, like, let's source for locations that look like this. So they now give that brief to like the location manager. And sometimes I have locations that I've worked in before that I'm able to send directly, like, hey, this is the perfect place for this. Let's just work with this. And they're like, okay, yes, let's do that. So execution is me now working with the director. We finalize on color palette. Sometimes I work with like the colorist as well, the DOP in lighting, colors. I think I'm good at putting colors together. It's something that I guess I've just learned over time. So I'm able to be like, oh no, this color will look great with this. And I think over time, one of my hobbies is watching movies. I see the way colors are used in films, and I'm like, oh, like this entire film, I'm only seeing 3 colors. How did they do it? And I'm able to think about how I can do the same for my own work as well. So work with the costume designer as well. She sends me her custom mood board. I'm able to say, okay, this is the color for the shirt, for the pants, this is the color for this character, for the dancer. So I'm able to like break all of that down in terms of colors because it's of how it will interact with my set. Mm-hmm. And then execution, I now build a team of people that I need to execute that. So do I need a carpenter? Do I need a scenic painter? Do I need a graffiti artist or a mural artist? What exactly do I need? So I gather people. I have people that will work for me on a permanent basis, but there are other vendors that I may not necessarily need every time. I kind of have to source for them. Sometimes I may need a plumber because we're trying to build a waterfall. So it depends on what we're trying to do. And each brief is so different. So it's like we're kind of figuring it out for each brief. And yeah, we work on a budget as well, and we get the money and we execute it. And on set, you see me running up and down. Most times I hate that running up and down things. I try as much as possible to ensure everything is done before the day of the shoot, so that on the day of the shoot, I'm just by the monitor, looking at the framing, if there's anything I need to adjust for each frame, because as the camera is moving around, maybe this is skewed. I have to keep on like making sure that is adjusted and everything. And yeah, you now see the final results. Okay.
So you know something I want to ask you. You definitely don't remember this, but it's a like flashback to when you said the thing with Taiwo and Dammy. Mm-hmm. Last year I met you at Polygon with Taiwo, and the same thing Taiwo said about Dammy. Mm-hmm. You weren't there, but he said it to me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he was like, oh, that like that's Anita. She's going to be out of here very soon. Aww. I don't know what. The thing is, I felt like you had maybe signed up to do something, but like, because he didn't want to like give the detail, yeah. But I was like, oh, there's something amazing that she's doing, and so there's a flex that you have, where in the last let's just say this year, you've worked with every single one of the big 3.
Yeah.
Some of them, more than once.
It's God.
And so, I guess for you, what I want to know is like, what's that like? Like, so what is it like with working with all 3 of those guys? Like, what is this person like? What is the dynamic? And how does that make you feel?
To be honest, I don't know. It didn't hit me until like somebody actually said it to me, because I'm not just working. Yeah. Right? I receive a brief. I don't even see it as like a big artist. I read the brief, because if I start to panic, like, oh, it's a big artist, it can affect my creative flow. So I just see it as a brief until somebody really said it to me. I'm like, oh, that's actually crazy. That's true.
Yeah.
So I think because of my, again, background in marketing and branding, I'm able to identify these different artists as different brands, as opposed to the big artists. I'm like, okay, this is a brand, and this is how their brand is. This is their brand, the way their brand, almost like their brand identity is so different. For instance, Wizkid's brand identity is so different from Burna's, so different from Davido's, from Rema's, from Arasta, is so different. So being able to see an artist like a brand and kind of figure out their aesthetics, the walls that they've built around their music and around their styling and everything, and being able to build on that to now world building in terms of the spaces that we set them in for us to really believe that, okay, yeah, this is the place that Rema can be in, or this is the place that Davido can be in. So I think for me, it challenges me in that aspect, because I'm not thinking on a bigger level. I'm not thinking, we don't want these videos looking the same. There's the time we even had a thing where like Burna Boy, we shot a video for Burna Boy and it's supposed to be a red room, and we were shooting a video for Wizkid and they wanted it to be red. So I started to panic. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to look similar. So I started panicking because I'm like, I don't want anybody to start saying that, oh, they're copying each other. But then I'm like, I'm panicking so much, but these people have different brands. How can I create that same space for Wizkid, still a red room, that still feels significantly different from the red room that Burna Boy is going to be in? So for me, as I said, I'm a nerd when it comes to the creatives. It excites me to have that kind of challenge. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't directly interact with the artist. Only if they like my space, or maybe if I have to brief them on something that has to do with this space, then yes. But it's mostly with their teams, and they just come on set, and they're really lovely people. They're normal people, like they're just normal people that just have a lot of people around them. But like when you remove all the people around them, they're like regular people. Like they're just coming on set, they're tired, they get tired like a normal human being, they get happy like a normal human being. But I think the one that was most like, oh mad, like I'm actually working with these people, was when the recent video for the video that I did with you.
Song of the year, video of the year, everything of the year.
Everything of the year. We worked on the video, and when I watched the video, I liked it, but I was like a bit bummed that like a lot of the sets didn't show. And that happens a lot in the work that we do. You put in so much work, the way it's shot, the way it's edited, you don't really get to see the set that was created. You don't get to see the budget that was spent. So I had already like had a BTS video that I wanted to drop, and the BTS video was going to show more than you can see in the actual video. So I remember it was Dammy that just encouraged me that I just post, and if the director is saying post it, who am I? Dammy was like, just post it now, like just post it, like let them see the work. And I posted it, and it just went viral, like viral in my own way. Went viral that Davido himself reposted it and was like, oh, not something about not all heroes wear cape or something like that, and it just went bonkers. And I'm just like, whoa, like David, it's hard for artists to appreciate other crew members aside the director, because who do they really know? You know, they don't really get to talk to anybody aside the director. But for him to actually like take a moment to even DM me to be like, hey, like fantastic work, like thank you so much, it looked amazing. Even if it didn't make the outcome of the final end of the video, just made me feel very...
It's still part of the process.
It's part of the process, yes. Just made me feel really good about the work that I do. And I'm like, okay, at least they're recognizing this thing and they actually see this thing.
You know, there's a question I was going to ask you. I feel like you've answered it. I'm still going to ask it. And it's, as you've done this thing, has there been any moment that has made you be like, fuck, this thing I'm doing is real?
Yes, definitely.
Tell me about it.
I think it's sometimes the budget that I, like let's say we get a brief. Like with you, I can't really disclose the exact figure, but with you, the budget was a lot because of what we had to do. And when I see the money in my account, no, it's true. Because you see this money in your account, and you're like, this money can relocate me and my family. Like, you're thinking about it. No, it's true, because some people that steal from me, like when I think about even carpenters that maybe I send 500k to and they run 500k, I'm always thinking, what would they do? But that's life-changing money to them. That money that hits my account for projects is life-changing money. And sometimes I just pause and think that if I fuck up like this, they can arrest me. Like, so I start thinking about it, but I try not to overthink it because I don't start panicking. But it puts a lot of pressure on me in terms of delivering proper, top-notch, detailed work. Because I'm like, I don't want anybody to, even if it's not that as big of that budget it is, I don't want you to give me money and I have taken that money from you and I'm not delivering my best. Like, I would not accept a job if I'm not able to give 100%. I hope people know that about me. So I think it's always about the money. Like, I see this big amount of money, I'm like, oh my God, these people have given me so much money, I can't mess up. Maybe I run away with the money, or I do this thing. I need to pick one. I need to pick one fast. So I think that's when it hits me, like, oh my God, you are doing this thing. Oh my God, this thing is real.
On the question of money, and that's something I think every creative person kind of struggles with. I don't think you do, because it's clear that you liked money from early. So you're clearly like, you knew your value. But how did you like build the confidence to be able to say that, guys, this thing costs 500 million. If you don't give me my 500 million, I ain't doing this shishi for you?
To be honest, I like money, but not that much. I hate money. I hate the idea of money. I hate talking about money. I hate negotiating, right? As I told you, even when I was doing advertising on my blog, I was in for 40, like not real money that is tangible, right? Because I just knew that I wanted to get money from this thing, but I didn't really think about it to be life-changing until like one of my best friends, she's like a financial consultant, and she sat me down, she's like, show me your books. I said, what's that? So yeah, she was like, you don't have like records? I'm like, no. So she's like, okay, we need to set you up. So she set me up, and I was like, okay, yes, I'm poor. That's literally what made me realize that I'm actually poor. I'm poor. So she's like, okay, no, don't worry, it's fixable. We just need to build now a financial structure for your business and for you separate. Because before it was like
mixing together.
And everything.
I see how.
She now told me like, what do you project to be earning personally on a yearly basis? And I told her. So she's like, okay, this is how much you need to be charging minimum for a job as your own take-home profit. And like, I don't really care about how much you charge for the execution. Just you need to separate it and know that this is what you're earning every month. You need to pay your bills. You need to be able to afford all these things for yourself, and also have a savings and have investments and everything, and have this for your company, have this for your storage, your team, and all of that separate. So she was able to help me out with that. In terms of the actual budget that they now approve, the work I'm doing now, there's now a level that I can now go below, right? Because it can look bad. It can like, if I'm not able to hire, for instance, I need to build a set, and Wizkid is going to be inside the set, and I don't have the money it takes to build that set. I'll just say, please, I don't want to build a set that will collapse on Wizkid's head. They now arrest me. So I'll be like, guys, I give them options. I'm like, okay, what's your budget? So we discuss that first. If they have a budget, what's your budget? This is what I think we can do to get to your budget. So instead of building from scratch, let's find a location and dress it up. So we're able to walk through it from the beginning if I really want to do the project. Because again, it's also about the project. Yeah. It's not just about the money again. Like, you can have money, but then the entire thing will look really bad. So I'm like, But then if it's like really, 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 really like unreasonable, I'll just be like, I'd rather sit this one out. And at the end of the day, they will come back. Because maybe they've gone out, they've seen like a bigger budget, or they're not really sure if giving the same person the same amount of money they'll give
you with the confidence in the person to deliver.
So they'll most times come back. So I think just having that, I just put my foot down. People have that thing of Anita is expensive, and I like it. Let that rumor be going around. Anita is expensive, so it filters people that are coming, because you know that if you're coming with quality, and you're coming with a good budget to achieve the quality that you want. So we're able to work around that. But again, I don't have like, I have a minimum I would never go below in terms of fees. Because again,
they said that that's what you need to manage your finances.
Yeah.
Okay. I think another thing I want to kind of, for people who play behind the scenes roles, it can be a very, like the point you were making where Davido acknowledged you. It's like, yeah, he should acknowledge you, because like you're an important part of this. But then you've been able to kind of build, I don't want to say personality, but you've been able to build your own like profile out. And you won some awards.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm curious about is, first of all, those awards, do they mean anything to you? So I know like you won Future Awards last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and there was also Art Director of the Year.
Yeah, for Berlin Music Video Awards.
Yeah. So things like that, which are obviously important milestones. Like your parents, at least they will see that one. They will use that whole body. But for you, like, what's the validation?
I genuinely think it's just reading comments and seeing people actually enjoy it. For me, so yes, these awards are great, right? So go back to me building a brand for myself, because that's also very important in my journey. I remember like after one set, the first set with Dammy, that one I was telling you about, the Obanijisu one, I spent 24 hours on set. I got home and I collapsed for another 24 hours. And I'm like, no, people must hear about this. Like, I must talk about it. Because I was checking, nobody was talking about. I'm like, are there no other art directors that are doing this thing? And then, like, there's so many of them, but they don't talk about it because it's not glamorous. It's like, they're just like an artisan, not really a creative. I'm like, I can't invest so much time, energy into this thing and not talk about it. And at the time, my social media was always like, because I was in marketing and branding, I used to like talk about branding for SMEs, tips on like marketing for SMEs, stuff like that. I just share that on my social media. So I just started storifying my stuff. Like, hey guys, I was on set for 24 hours and I just started storifying it in a long caption. And I guess I can be quite engaging when I like do that. And people say, oh my God, this is fantastic, this is amazing, oh my God, mind blown. And I'm like, wait, this thing happens a lot, but people just don't talk about it. So I started doing that a lot. So people started like finding it cool. I started making it look a bit cool because they're like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. I want to do that. That looks fun. That looks cool. I started like, people now started getting more interested in it, and even people that are already doing it now started getting out of their shell and talking more about it. Like now, one guy that I met that is an OG now set up an Instagram page and told me that you inspired me and now have Instagram, follow me. Like, you know what I mean? So in his own techno phone, he's there doing his own BTS, and I just feel like now people are like, oh no, I'm doing all this amazing work, I need to talk about it. So that happened. So for me again, it's reading people's comments. Awards is a thing for me again, maybe because in Nigeria we just don't have that. Headies don't talk about art directors. What other awards can really give? Aside AMVC Art Director of the Year, which I don't really do Nollywood films. Yeah. There's no Nigerian award that can really validate my work as an art director.
Well, I'll make one for you.
Yes, please, so that I can give me an award. But the Future Award came from even like a client, like a client told me about it, like, oh, like I think you should like get someone to nominate you for the Future Awards, because I worked with him, he loved my work, he became a friend from that job, and he's like, Anita, no, you're too brilliant, you're too this, like, you know what I'm doing? In my head, I'm like, don't wash me, please. But he kept on telling me that they're about to close this thing or get somebody to nominate you. So I'm like, you know what? Okay. So I got somebody to nominate me, and at the event, I didn't know I was going to win. I was just sitting down there. I was just enjoying the show. I was just happy to be there. I was just happy to be among so many people. And I think that also gave me maybe a small level of validation that, oh my God, like I'm actually sitting down with proper, like the top youths in Nigeria, or like people that in my category was like IB Quick. I was like, oh, she's definitely winning. Like, who am I? Like, you know what I mean? But I was just happy to be there. Like, oh my God, you're recognizing me amongst all these people. So my work is being seen by people. And the fact that, I think another thing is, I don't like awards that you have to vote. Like all this vote for me, vote for me.
That shit,
I like it when there's actual judges and there's a panel and people reviewing your work. That gives me that validation. Like, oh, these people sat down, put my work and said, no, this person deserves to win. And for me, I'm like, okay, if my work can speak to people as human beings, then I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Same thing with the Berlin Music Video Awards. That's my first international award. That was actually my first award ever. Nomination. I didn't win it, but I mean...
Still flex.
I was the only Nigerian, I think, to be nominated for that category. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, people in Germany bring... And then obviously it's like a panel of people that are picking, and I'm like, oh my God, they picked my work as best art direction. That's crazy. So I think that just makes me feel really good. It's not even about the winning. It's about the fact that I'm being selected. Like, okay, this person is outstanding. Yeah.
Okay. I usually end these interviews by asking 2 questions. So I'll start with the first one. Again, if you were my producer for the day, and I came to you, yo, Anita, we need to book some guests. Which guests would you be suggesting we book?
That you've not had on here already?
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. Dammy Twitch.
That was obvious.
Dammy Twitch. Who else? That's a tricky question. That you've not had on here, because you've had everybody.
I've not had everybody.
You had everybody. I think right now, off the top of my head, is Dammy. Maybe Blessing Uzi. I don't know if you know Blessing Uzi.
I know Blessing Uzi, Freedom Way. Yeah, she Freedom just Way. Did. I literally saw it the Zikoko films. Yeah.
Blessing Uzi, Dammy Twitch. These are people that inspire me, so I'm just going to be saying that. You've had Taiwo on here already, so that's good. I think those are the 2 people off the top of my head right now I can think of.
Okay. And then, last question. I've sat down with you today. I've asked you all these questions. We've been yapping. In the interest of, fairness, I'm allowing you to ask me a question. Yeah.
Okay.
What question do you have for me?
I'd say, what inspired you to start up Culture Custodian?
Good one. Good one. What inspired me? Okay. I think this is actually the first time I told this story on here. That's why it's actually a good one. So the way you had a blog in high school, I had a blog in high school.
Oh, nice.
But mine was more like, it was very serious. So I was this guy who was good at English and government. I thought he wanted to be president of Nigeria. This is at like 16. Nobody gives a damn about you or what you think, but that was like the mindset I was. So I used to write like, the serious articles. And people used to be like, you can write, like, or things like that. Like, that small validation. And then I used to have like a personal blog where I used to kind of write on. And at the time, what I used to do was I would interview my friends who were like music artists or just people who were creative, because I'm like, okay, I want to do like your first interview. I want to capture this journey. So I did a lot of that. And then I always was like, okay, you know what? So the first thing is, I hate stuff that's named after yourself. So like, I did not want like my blog to be named after me. Like myrido.com, I'm just like, yeah, this should just die quickly. Because it's not cool.
Yeah.
And so a friend of mine went to high school together. We kept on like, it was kind of the thing where he knew I wanted to do this and he also wanted to do it. So it was like, let's do this. And one summer we locked in and we're like, okay, we've been talking about this thing for like 2 or 3 years. We've not done it. Like, yeah, let's do it. So I came up with the name. I don't remember how I came up with the name. Like, that's actually the thing. I must have been reading something or just like, yeah, there was probably some art thing that I was consuming at the time where the reference just stuck and I was like, okay, we want to do this. And I always say like when we were starting, the idea we had was that we wanted to create a platform that was, at the time, I didn't feel like my interests were represented in contemporary media. And when I say my interests, what I mean is I liked Afrobeats, but I also liked hip hop. And when I say hip hop, I don't mean Nigerian hip hop, I mean like hip hop generally. So it was like, is there a world where these two things, like the things that I like from home and the things that I like that are not from home, is there a world where they collide? And I was like, okay, you know what? I haven't seen that world where they collide, so I'm going to make that world where they collide. And yeah, that was the kind of like mind mapping that was going on when we started. And obviously it's evolved into so much more than that. But yeah, at its core, it was, okay, we want to create a platform that kind of makes, people who feel like they're cultured or they're interested in popular culture. And again, I think part of it is because like culture is not like, people don't take it seriously. Or it kind of feels like it's a joke.
That's true.
Yeah. So like, it's like when people say, is it not blogging that you're doing? Like the hell? Like, you know what this is? So it was kind of like, okay, is there a world where we can also make contemporary culture like feel important, feel serious? Like, we're going to cover this thing and we're going to cover it in depth. And that's part of why like I love the idea of talking to someone like you, because we're looking at like someone who plays a very important part. So it's like we think of Afrobeats, and Afrobeats is like one of our biggest like exports today. And then the videos that your Afrobeat stars are in, but then there's this person who is essentially making these things happen behind the scenes. I was like, you guys need to know this person. You need to hear like her story. You need to just like make sense of it, because it's like people like you are very important. So I think it's all like, we want it to be a space where we can cover like, the big people, but also the behind the scenes actors, where it's like, we don't want them to just be, if you know, like, let's it be that, guys, you should know. Like,
I'm just writing off the back of one of the things you've said about, how to push our culture forward is, another thing that actually I think I should have mentioned this because it's really important in my own creative process is ensuring that our culture is so well represented in these visuals because now it's going everywhere.
Yeah.
So how is Africa represented? How is Nigeria represented? How are the women represented? How are they dressed? Because when you think about music videos back in the back then, Missy Elliott days, you're looking at women that are very objectified. And moving into Africa and how African music videos are now getting that really big exports, we're now collaborating with so many people. It's really an opportunity to share and to show our culture, our women, our art in a more creative and artistic way than just getting random girls to come and shake their bum in the videos. So definitely, like I think that we have very similar objectives. Then what we're doing with our different platforms.
We're doing important work. It's thankless because they don't like telling us thank you, but we will tell ourselves thank you because we know. Anyway, guys, I've enjoyed this episode so much. Like we could continue, we could go on and on, but it has to end. So thank you, Anita, for coming here, for talking to us, for sharing as much as you have shared. And to the viewers at home, thank you. Catch you this time next week.